Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is a review of Sam and Kate. I did watch this without audio description off of VOD. I just watched this because I live with somebody who I thought would enjoy a movie starring Dustin Hoffman and Sissy Spacek. So because I live with my mom, I thought this would be good for her. Sometimes I make choices. That's why I kind of wish audio description was more widely out there, because she kind of feels bad when we watch films that don't have audio description, but like households shouldn't have to go through that, just because somebody in the family is blind. Like, ooh, do we watch this? I don't know. But I end up just kind of never acting like it matters. I'm just like, whatever, yeah, that's fine. I'll be fine. It's just so that she can watch whatever she wants. I also was actually legitimately interested in this film myself because Dustin Hoffman and Sissy Spacek are in the supporting roles, and the lead roles, the Sam and Kate of the film, are actually Jake Hoffman and Schuyler Fisk, who are the actual children of Dustin Hoffman and Sissy Spacek. Not together, but they play two different couples. So Dustin, his actual son in the film, is played by Jake Hoffman, who is his actual son, and Sissy Spacek in the film has Schuyler Fisk playing her daughter, who is actually her daughter. I just think that's interesting because we don't usually see that in Hollywood. We're lucky if we get one pairing, not two. Not like we're the whole film, where these are the four lead characters, and the whole film is focused around them. Interestingly, some other recognizable names pop up. In the film, I'll just say you'll see Henry Thomas and Tyler Labine at points in the film, but they don't really carry a whole lot of weight in the actual finished product of the film. But so the film is basically Sam is there to take care of his dad that he calls by his first name, Bill, all the time, which is weird. But Bill is cranky. The film opens up with him and it sounds like he's driving around a store in one of those wheelchair carts, motorized scooter things, trying to find stuff in some sort of like a Walmart or something, and complaining to people about it and being all craggy. And I guess they probably had to call the son in. That's kind of how the film opens, but I never know what he's looking at. So that's like one case where I was like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but we can't always rely on the sound team, on the Dolby editors here, to make sure that the sound carried over. Because like, I hear the sound of the motorized scooter, I get that, and I picked up on the fact that they're inside of a store, but he's driving around looking at things I don't know what he's looking at. He's complaining about things I don't know what he's complaining about. So I got like half that scene. So there's an example of one scene that just doesn't work totally the way I think they would want it to. But Sam is taking care of his dad, and he runs into this girl at this bookstore. I think it's a bookstore. Anyway, I mean, they talk about books. It's not really clear because, again, I didn't have audio description. But we're going to say it's a bookstore. Who is Kate, played by Schuyler Fisk, and they commiserate over this book that ends up being a little too expensive for him, so he buys a bargain book instead, and he does not get the date. But later on, when they're at church, they run into the same couple, and turns out that Bill knows Kate's mom, played by Sissy Spacek, and or is at least familiar with her a little bit. They've seen each other. The whole film is about them sort of getting to know each other a little bit more. And the movie sort of goes from there with sort of two couples paired against each other, the old couple and then the younger couple. And it's not necessarily the most obvious romantic comedy. It doesn't just immediately go into that. It's not even really a comedy. It's definitely not a comedy. I don't think it's... The film has more serious moments than it does comedic moments. It just has moments of humor infused into the drama. Hoffman has done similar films like this before, these like late stage romances. I actually really enjoyed Last Chance Harvey that he did opposite Emma Thompson. But this is a weird one for me. I love Dustin Hoffman. I think he's a tremendous actor. He's also 85, so I think about every role that he does now, and I go, this could be the last role that he does. Is this how we want to say goodbye to Dustin Hoffman? And maybe this is how he wants to go, is in a film where he shared the screen with his son. Maybe he doesn't care. And he doesn't have to care. The roles that he leaves behind are tremendous. So, but he is at that point where any film could be his last film, or he could make 10 more movies. He could be Ed Asner and just seem to make things forever. So I don't know, but I do think about things like that with him. And I thought about the oddity of Jake Hoffman having to play this guy watching his father die, and some of the scenes that Jake has to do in the film when he's, but it's actually his father. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're breaking that wall. You're not just imagining that it could be your father. The character that you are emoting over is actually played by your father. So it's, I don't know if it hit home for him a lot more than anything, but I would think that if anything, that this film would have pulled out a performance from Jake Hoffman that would have been like, ooh, here we go. Sort of like what we got from Cooper Hoffman last year in Licorice Pizza, from Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid. He just kind of came out and he was like, look, I'm here and I'm tremendous. May not be as amazing as my father was when he left this earth, but I have potential. Seeing Jake Hoffman, this is not his first acting gig. I don't think he has dramatic depth. I don't think he's not where his father is. This is not a thing where we got like a Kirk Douglas, Michael Douglas thing going on here. Jake is not going to be getting a ton of roles once his father passes. Nepotism can only help him just so far, and without his father in the room, I don't expect to see much of Jake Hoffman in the future. I didn't think his performance was very good. Schuyler has had a little bit more acting experience in that, with lead roles, and she's also a singer, and she sort of has gone on a different career path. She's a little bit more effervescent, and works sort of a little bit more in that, she's a little bit more comfortable in her role, and a little bit more with this on-screen presence. Seems just a little more at home, a little bit more in her role. I don't know how to describe it. It's not a very hard role for her, because her Sam is kind of the lead, and Kate is still sort of a supporting role. It's not even though it's called Sam and Kate, the film does not branch a hell of a lot of time off into Kate. It's not like we spend a whole lot of time. It's not a 50-50 split. So she isn't granted the same scenes with which to go out and really, slay. And of course, Dustin Hoffman and Sissy Spacek are fine. Like but they're also at that point where you go, I can list like 20 roles they've done that are better than this. Just this year, I thought Sissy Spacek in Night Sky, which was canceled by Amazon very unfairly, I thought she was better than that, to be honest. She had more to do, and she had like a range within her. She also played a little bit better with J.K. Simmons than she does with Dustin Hoffman. Just the back and forth. Here, we're not given a whole lot for them to grow in their relationship, which is kind of the point. There's some stuff that happens sort of in the later part of the film. This one doesn't go exactly where you would expect it to. But part of that problem is that when the film wants to take a turn, it starts relying on visual cues. So when it doesn't have audio description, it becomes kind of a problem. I made it through because I had somebody with me who said, "Oh, this is what the problem is," and I said, "Oh, cool, that makes sense now." But otherwise, it just sort of seems like characters are making rash decisions for no discernible reason whatsoever. There's a lot of interpretation problems here, and I don't want to spoil the film in case somebody does watch it, but there's some stuff that happens in the later half of the film that you need visual cues for, and if you don't get those visual cues, then you miss. So, I don't think the film's totally unwatchable. It's really close, though, because of that. Because I think you're going to end up missing out on... you'll have to, like, look it up online. It won't make sense. There are things that they don't ever quantify into words. There's choices that are made based on other things. But they don't ever say, I did this because of this. Or this person is this. And they... because of that, you either have to be incredibly perceptive, or you have to be, just like on another level. I don't know, but it's like you could piece some of it together, maybe, but I don't know that everybody will. So that's why I'm not going to go totally unwatchable with it, because there are things that happen, and then there are the ramifications of those things. So if you can figure out from the aftermath of something, you might be able to figure out what the catalyst was for that. So it's an interesting film. It's not my favorite film of the year, and most of the time I just kind of I thought it was an interesting experiment to see these two. It just kind of reminded me that they're not their parents. I like Schuyler, but she's not Sissy Spacek. And I like, I like Dustin Hoffman, but Jake is not. Even in his most dramatic moments here, he doesn't come close to his father in terms of the connection to the craft. So I think I'm ready to grade this. I'm gonna give Sam and Kate a C+. That's it. It also doesn't have audio description, so it's not something I can jump up and down about. But if you see this out there and you're wondering what Sam and Kate is, there you go. I've told you. So thanks for listening to this review. And I'm just a few people away from my year-end goal of 100 subscribers. So if you click subscribe, that would be great. I'm almost there. Also, if you want, you can check out my website, macthemovieguy.com. You can follow me on Twitter at macthemovieguy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org, where you can find a film that does have audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org, which you can search your favorite movies and television shows and see what has audio description. That's it for me today, and I will see you on the other side.